Hi ladies, welcome back. And let's just jump right into it. Are you in a place where you're like, what the hell is going on with my body? Like all of a sudden you haven't changed a thing. Like you're still eating the same, you're exercising, but yet you're not sleeping, you're fatigued, you're gaining some weight. Well, it's a good possibility you're in perimenopause, okay? And perimenopause is the natural transition of that you have to go through in order to get into menopause. And it can last anywhere from a couple months up to 10 years. I know that when I hit 40, I hit a wall. And I mean to tell you, I went through, mine was 10 years at least. I finally hit transition about 11 years. Actually, I finally hit menopause at 51, thank God. But it was definitely hormonal hell. But I had a good idea of what was going on, so I was able to get a handle on it. I mean, know where to go to get some help. But as you begin to transition into menopause, your ovaries are no longer producing the higher levels of estrogen and progesterone that they did, which is the reason that's causing these ugly symptoms to come about. So let's say, what are the symptoms of perimenopause? Well, you may be having irregular cycles. You may be a lady that had regular cycles day 1 through 28. I mean, you could count the day where you knew exactly when you're going to start your cycle. But when your cycles start coming a little early, coming a little bit later, that is a really good indication that you're in perimenopause. You may be having some night sweats. Is your libido lower? Are you having some mood swings? Are you feeling a little bit more touchy? Are you feeling like you're in a constant state of PMS, like you're just bloated and moody and just irritable? I mean, that is a huge indication, ladies. Are you struggling with maybe some more acne, like adult acne? Like, what the heck? Like, I was doing this at 15. What's up with it now? Are you having some migraines? If for some reason you're having trouble getting pregnant, a lot of times if your progesterone is low, which is the first hormone that drops as we start going through this time. If your progesterone's low, it can definitely cause infertility. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but I'm saying it can definitely be a contributing factor. And you may also notice you've got a little bit more anxiety than you used to, because your progesterone is that relaxing hormone. It helps balance out that estrogen. And when you have too much estrogen, then that can cause anxiety. And so what we do know is we know that progesterone is the important hormone that plays a role in your reproductive system. And we also know that if you are low in progesterone, estrogen dominates the body and it causes these processes to be unregulated. So that's what causes all the ugly symptoms to rear their head up. And I mean, because you have way too much estrogen in relation to progesterone, okay? And so when we look at, we're also going to say, hey, what does progesterone do in my body? So what does it do in your body? We know that it helps regulate your bleeding during menstruation, okay? We also know that it helps support pregnancy once you're conceived. We also know that it helps support a good mood. And it's huge in supporting your thyroid function, which your thyroid function is a huge factor in how you feel. So we know that progesterone does support that. I know that when I had my clinic, a large percentage of women that came in had low thyroid, and that could have been because their progesterone was low. It may be other issues, but it could be the contributing factor as to why their thyroid was low. Once you get those levels back up, hey, you may be able to lower your thyroid or not be on thyroid, but that could be a reason contributing to your thyroid being low. So we know that it helps support the thyroid function. So you're saying, okay, well, what if I'm in perimenopause? And what do I do? How do I test? How do I find out if I'm in perimenopause? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to find a doctor you can go to your mainstream doctor. There are some great mainstream doctors out there if they're open to it. But unfortunately, the majority of the ones that but it's a small majority. I mean, I'm not saying I've been to a lot of mainstream doctors, but the ones that I've talked to and my friends I've talked to, they do not test progesterone, or they may say, hey, this is just part of aging. Well, I don't accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go through the rest of my life feeling like hell. Okay. So I'm going to do everything I can to be proactive for my body. And I just encourage you to do the same thing. If you go to a mainstream doctor and they just shut you down, find another doctor. okay? Go to another doctor. If you can afford a functional medicine doctor, and they're all different price ranges. They are cash pay, majority of them are cash pay, but if you could afford one, I really encourage you to go down that road. You know, talk to friends who are going through the same thing. Get online, look at reviews. A lot of these functional medicine doctors are doing online consultations now. It's not like you have to find one that's in your city. I've been through a lot of functional medicine doctors. I've used a lot because I've had a lot of health issues. And finding that functional medicine doctor that works best for you is going to be a huge hurdle to overcome when finding your sweet spot for you to feel better, because they're going to work with you because you're more, it's a concierge service. And so they're going to be more, you're not going to be just a number to them. You're their patient. They're going to listen to you, and you know, they're going to treat your symptoms. So I just encourage you, if you can go do the functional medicine route, then absolutely do it. If not, because of finances, then find a mainstream doctor. Again, if the one you go to is shutting you down, go find another one. Ask around, okay? There is somebody out there to help you. So once you find your doctor, they're going to want you to test for your progesterone. And if you're a lady that is still having your cycles, you want to test your progesterone on day cycles 19, 20, or 21. That's going to give you the most accurate levels of where your body is at, okay? So, and how you do that is day 1 is the day you start your cycle. So you want to count down to 19, 20, or 21, and then have your labs done on that day. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones and you're not having cycles anymore, well, then you can test it at any time, okay? So once your doctors have that, let's say, hey, get your labs tested, your progesterone is low. So we know you're most likely in perimenopause, okay? So then you want to decide. So first off, you can take the option of trying to treat it naturally, okay? And so by doing that, you may want to eat more healthier fats, you know, eggs, beef, some seafood, some nuts and seeds. You might want to try to alleviate some stress, which is hard to do right now. It's a tough time right now, but if you can do anything to alleviate some stress, maybe try some yoga, some breath work, some meditation, anything to lower that stress level is going to help out a lot. Well, that's going to help out overall, but it also can help out with that progesterone. Maybe start taking some supplements like zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, some B6. Those have been known to help increase progesterone levels. Limit your caffeine. And then lastly, make sure your blood sugar levels are balanced. Make sure they're balanced, okay? That's huge overall, period, but just that's also helps with progesterone, naturally increasing your progesterone levels. If you find it, you're still struggling after maybe you're trying to do that for a few months, but you're still struggling, then talk to your doctor, and then, you know, they're most likely going to prescribe you like a bioidentical progesterone. You do not want anything synthetic, okay, ladies? No synthetic. Bioidentical means identical to the molecule that your body already produces, and it's all plant-based, so we know it's safe for your body, okay? And so you can go to a compounding pharmacy and you can get a progesterone capsule. They're usually sustained released, which means they last from 4 to 8 hours after you take it. Or you can even get it from the regular pharmacy. The only thing with the regular pharmacy is they're not as long lasting. So they may only last up to 4 hours, okay? So again, depending on your financial situation, absolutely try out the one from CVS or Walt. It's bioidentical. It's just not sustained released, okay? So maybe try that out. And then if it doesn't work, move over to the ones from the compounding pharmacy. And, you know, your doctor may start you on 100 milligrams. That's a low dose. If you find it's not working, they can increase it. It's a tweaking process, my friends. It's not something you're going to just start and all of a sudden, whoo, I feel like $1 million. No, you're going to start it and you just have to listen to your body. And that's where you're working with that doctor at a close relationship with that doctor. They're going to help you during this process and find that sweet spot where you need to be. Now, this week you may be feeling great. Next week you may not. Again, it is a process, And it's an up and down journey when you're in perimenopause. It's hard to regulate it because your hormones are changing daily. Once you transition into menopause, now that at that time, you will definitely be able to get things regulated. I'm not saying they're not going to ever fluctuate, but what I'm saying is everything's low so you can get it back up to where it needs to be, and because your body's not producing it anymore and you're just replenishing it. Okay, you're replacing it with your hormones. So it's a tweaking process. If you find that you're struggling to find a dosage, that you're having to increase, the next thing is you might want to look at your gut. I know that I chased my hormones for years, and come to find out a lot of it was gut related. Okay, so everything is not always hormone related, but it could be gut related. So once I got my gut in order, I'm now able to take a 200 milligram progesterone capsule every night, and have good lab results after taking that. Again, it's a process, my friends, and I just encourage you to be an advocate for your health. Find a good doctor. Find one that works well with you. My doctor may work great with me, but maybe you don't like them. So find one that works well with you. Talk to your friends, and it's a tough process, ladies, but just be your own advocate because you can do it. And I hope this helped answer some questions, and I look forward to my next video, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace out.